Ready? Okay, answer this question. 10 years ago, if you saw a random girl you were attracted to, how did you get her number? You didn't. It was a trick question. Most guys need at least 6 beers to even talk to a girl. And even then, they pussy out most of the time. Let's come back to today, though. If a guy sees a woman he's attracted to, what does he have to do now? Type a message and hit send? Swipe right. How much balls does that take? And that's the problem. Any guy can hit on a girl right now without ever leaving his house. Guys who might have talked to a couple of girls a year in the past are now hitting up 100 girls a day. So, how you met a woman in the past or kept her attracted to you just won't work anymore. Even if a woman thinks you're funny or good looking, even if you click with her and you think you're doing everything right, chances are she will still pull away and you'll lose her. This wasn't a problem in the past, but it is right now because the game has permanently changed and you're still playing by the old rules. Now, if you're already sick of friend zone speeches or spinning your wheels and getting nowhere with the girls you really like, I've got bad news for you. Things are about to get worse. Way worse. Hi, I'm Rob Judge, and if you don't understand the hidden psychology behind this picture, then chances are you don't know the new rules of dating. Right now, we're in a hookup culture, and it doesn't matter if you met her on Tinder, or if she's a coworker you have a crush on, or even an ex-girlfriend you want back. Everything about how you pursue a woman and keep her attracted to you has radically changed. Now, you may know me from my last video, which went viral and was watched over 3 million times. In that video, I warned men that nowadays women hate feeling pressured. And if you confess your feelings to a woman too soon or act too interested, you'll scare her away, even if she liked you. How girls expect things to happen fast. And if you wait to make your move, or you don't go for the kiss on the first date, you'll wind up in the friend zone. Or how romantic gestures, like sending flowers, buying her gifts, or being too available to hang out, now make you look needy, old, or inexperienced. A lot of guys ignored me back then or thought their girl was different, but she wasn't. So whether you're 25 or 55, I suggest you pay attention. In the next few minutes, I'll explain why I'm certain your odds of finding a girlfriend or wife are about to plummet, and why there's a very good chance you'll grow old and die alone. You can decide for yourself if I'm exaggerating. As for me, I've never been more certain of anything in my entire life. I can tell you right now, most guys won't have a clue what to do when meeting a woman in the real world becomes next to impossible. When entire relationships take place over text and fizzle out before you even kiss her. They won't know how to play hard to get when even the 5s and 6s of 10 other guys trying to get in their pants. How to stand out when there are hundreds of other messages in her phone all saying the same things. Everything about dating is going to change, I promise you. Of course, the most important part of this situation is not what is happening, but what you can do about it. While sitting on the sidelines or blaming women might feel better right now, the fact is, the longer you're single, the more your stock falls. And pretty soon, you're the old guy at the party fending off the gay rumors and explaining why you're dateless again. Want to hear a scary stat? On average, an attractive single woman over 40 years old receives 113 messages a day. If she's under 40, that number jumps to 236 messages a day. How can you possibly compete nowadays when taller, richer, better in bed than you is one click away? The answer? You start playing by a new set of rules. In this video, I'll show you what's happening and exactly what the new rules are. It's important to watch this right now. If you think you can come back to this video or watch it another time, that would be a bad idea and a big mistake. Because here's a little secret. Right now, there is still a tiny window of opportunity that I'm going to show you how to exploit and get laid like crazy in this new and promiscuous culture by hot 22-year-olds. But that window's closing very soon. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I'm doing personally and what you can do as well. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up and show you in the simplest terms possible what's going on, why I'm so concerned, and what I believe will happen next. September 12th, 2012. That was the day the average guy got his dick chopped up with a swipe to the left. Tinder came along and made things easy. It no longer required sitting in front of a computer. You only got messages from people you matched with. All kinds of girls who would never have been online signed up in droves. Even older women. And it's addicting. Stare at your phone, keep swiping left until you find someone attractive, then swipe right. If they swipe right on you too, ding, it's a match. Welcome to our new hookup culture. Vanity Fair called it Tinder and the dawn of the dating apocalypse. The New York Times, the end of courtship. Fox News, modern romance has permanently permanently changed. CNN, why traditional dating is dead. Dozens of websites, magazines, and TV shows have cited the rise of the hookup culture and the end of dating as we know it. How girls are enjoying casual sex. How most girls are having sex on the first date. How the average girl has 3 or 4 booty calls in her phone at all times. How girls are actually turned off if you don't try to sleep with them. How on random Tuesday nights, girls are meeting up with guys they just met on Tinder, skipping the dates and the fancy dinners and heading right over to your house for Netflix and blowjobs. How even good girls are topless, bent over the kitchen counter, within hours of matching with a new guy. Even older divorced women are coming out of marriages and enjoying the single life. There's even a term for it, boys on the side. How women are the ones resisting relationships and marriage. How right now girls are having more sex than at any point in history. Wait, how is women having more sex a bad thing? Isn't this all good news? Shouldn't things be easier, not harder? Well, not so fast. Let me show you. See, it all comes back to our good friend, supply and demand. You remember back in high school when a small group of guys got all the girls? Like, a few popular guys were fucking all the cheerleaders, goth girls, party girls, even the cute nerdy girls, and the rest of the class was in the friend zone. That's exactly what's happening right now. Let me explain. See, before Tinder, there was a stigma to meeting someone online, which kept away the really cool guys who got laid super easily in the real world. You know the type I'm talking about. The naturals that always have multiple women chasing them for sex. I call them naturals because they were the guys losing their virginity in the 7th grade. The type women say they hate but still wind up fucking. In the past, these guys never bothered with the average girls, but Tinder has made it as easy as sending Netflix and chill for these guys to get laid with a new younger woman. So what if she's not a 10, right? It's not like they're buying her dinner or waiting weeks to fuck her. They're just sending a few messages and following the new rules. And bam, Chrissy the receptionist is spread out naked on the bed. So, how does this affect you? Supply and demand. Because these naturals are driving up demand. Girls that used to be in your league are now holding out for something better. The cute girls with girlfriend potential, pretty face, hot body, cool personality. She has so many guys worshiping the ground she walks on that she thinks she's Cleopatra. And even now Mark Anthony's not good enough for her. So she immediately rejects potential guys because their height, their age. She doesn't like Asians. They don't photograph well or they don't have enough friends on Facebook. And even when she does say yes to you, all it takes is one tiny mistake. Like showing too much interest or giving off a needy vibe. And you'll scare her away for good. How can you possibly get a woman to commit when she's distracted with so many other options? When she's got a phone full of desperate guys all trying to fuck her, saying the exact same things as you. Never in history has the average girl had so many choices of guys. See, a few years ago, if you worked with a girl like Chrissy, or met her through your social circle, just a tiny bit of game and a few things in common, she would have fallen in love with you. Not anymore. See, the average guy has become a commodity, like aluminum foil. It doesn't matter if you have a sense of humor, financially secure, above average looking, a good job, or how many of your female friends would describe you as a catch. Your value in the marketplace is as close to zilch as it can get. Point is, the cards are seriously stacked against us. Almost every girl you meet has impossibly high standards, and her standards will continue to rise over the next few years. The entire game now takes place online or over messages, where even one wrong text can blow things up. The dating scene is an absolute mess. Women are having more sex than ever, but with only a small group of men. This new hookup culture is like an exclusive club the average guy just can't get into. And here's the scary part and why it's about to get worse. Dating apps and this new hookup culture is going mainstream. Close to 1 million new women a month are signing up for these apps. The ex-girlfriend you're still hoping to run into, your cute coworker, that girl at the gym, the adorable bank teller, the barista who serves you coffee, the woman in your salsa class, that female friend you're secretly in love with. If the woman you have your eye on is not on a dating app yet, she will be. It's inevitable. And if you don't want to wind up losing all the girls you really like, you better know how to counteract it. So, what can you do? Well, I've done a lot of real-world research on this, and have found that there is a set of new rules you must follow, and a surprising number of simple things you can do to not only prevent women from growing bored or quickly rejecting you, but actually make girls more attracted and committed to you. So much so that she completely shuts other guys out of her life completely. And if you're so so inclined, instead of sitting on the sidelines, you can exploit the same secret rule that naturals have. This makes it so incredibly easy to get hot, horny 22-year-old girls to your place when you understand how the game is played nowadays. Now, let me be clear. Whether you're looking for a wife or a one-night stand, the 3 steps I'm about to lay out are exactly the same. I'll warn you, if you're over 30 years old, chances are some of what I'm about to recommend will seem strange to you. But trust me when I say this, older men are having some of the most success with these new strategies. I'll explain why in a second. First, you want to know the number one rule of this hookup culture. It's the same rule that makes the hidden psychology behind this picture so effective. And it's the same rule that makes it so easy for naturals to fuck so many sexy women. And it's the foundation of all 3 steps you're about to discover. The number one rule, women want to be with men they think other women want to be with. That's it. If a woman thinks other women are attracted to you and want to date or sleep with you, she'll want to make you her boyfriend or have sex with you. If she thinks you don't usually get girls like her, even if she likes you, she will put the brakes on and reject you. See, women have so many choices of guys to date or sleep with. The only way to filter out who to spend time or have sex with is to rely on social proof, or how in demand you appear to be in this new dating marketplace. If you don't seem in demand, they have no interest in you. Here's a question for you. How do women know that other women are attracted to you? Answer, they don't. Her woman radar will be trying to pick up on any clues. Your text messages, how much attention you give her, how experienced you seem to be with women nowadays. If you want to get women, do and say things that create the impression other women want you. Now, I'm going to share the 3 steps you can use to make any woman think that other women are climbing over each other to get to you. Step number 1, make sure you have lots of options. There's a famous saying, those who look hungry never get fed. Let me be perfectly blunt. Having only one girl you're chasing or fawning over will crush you faster than you can say friend zone. What kind of power can you possibly hold when she knows she's the only girl in your life? And trust me, she knows it. She can smell it on you. The stench of desperation. When you're only talking to one girl, you're too afraid to lose her, so you make all the classic mistakes. Showing too much interest, acting clingy, needy, try hard, desperate, and always available like a puppy dog she can kick around. If a woman doesn't sense that you have other options, then no matter how perfect you think you are together, she'll get bored and find a man that other girls are chasing. Rest assured, if you're not constantly meeting new girls, you will dig yourself into a ditch that you cannot climb out of. Here's the good news. When you play by the new rules, it's never been easier to meet more women. Sure, keeping them is hard. We'll get to that in step 3. But meeting them is as easy as a few clicks on your phone, when you know where to look. See, I've identified 4 spots right now, packed with real girls, not fake profiles or prostitutes, not attention-seeking time wasters or wannabe pen pals. Real girls looking to meet up and have fun with guys who understand how the new game is played. See, the first step is to simply bring more options into your life so you avoid acting hungry or desperate when you meet a girl you really like. And I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. I'm not going to do that here in this video, but I will explain everything in full detail in my new report called the Match Multiplier Report. And I want to give you a copy to download free of charge. In addition to showing the exact 4 spots you'll find all the available women, I'll show you the secret to getting more matches with the women you really want. I'll also give you my exact profile you can copy that makes you look like a guy women chase. The reality is, girls are making a split-second evaluation of your fuckability. I've discovered 12 simple ways to tip the scale in your favor and get her interested in having sex with you. These tips work even if you're not her normal type, or she usually doesn't go for much older men. See, there's a secret language being spoken in these apps. Think of it as a secret handshake into an exclusive club. And when you begin to speak it, you unlock an unlimited supply of girls to hang out with, have sex with, make other girls jealous, and even turn 1, 2, or 3 or more into your fuck buddy or girlfriend. Here's why I'm so certain of this. 3 years ago, I came out of a divorce and was a 33-year-old single dad. And with a 2-year-old daughter at home, my dating life came to a complete standstill. For years, I easily met women at bars and clubs or through a social circle I had developed out in Vegas. But not only did I no longer have the time or the desire to party and pick up girls like I used to, I also found that the tide had changed, and meeting women in the real world was much more difficult. So, out of necessity, I spent the past few years testing and mastering every aspect of using dating apps to meet hot, fun girls. And I met and slept with dozens of women over the past few years, putting in very little work, and even met my current girlfriend off Tinder. Her name is Adriana, and she's the Telemundo weather girl. I don't tell you this to brag or impress you. I tell you so you know everything I share is based on real-world case studies. Strategies that not only worked for me, but also for my coaching clients I've shared them with. I'll reveal everything you need to get started in this report. The fact is, right now, even old, overweight, and unattractive guys speaking this secret language have a phone full of hot and eager 23-year-old girls they can sleep with any night. I would be surprised with the right messages if you weren't getting 3 or 4 girls to respond and meet up with you every week. So, what messages should you be sending? Over the past year, I've been compiling something I call the First Message Black Book, which details in full 43 of the best messages you can send to cut through the noise and get a girl quickly agreeing to hang out with you. The reason these messages work is because they make you seem confident and experienced, and quickly signal to the woman that you get this new hookup culture. In this volume, I give you the exact message and reveal the mechanism behind it that makes it so effective at sparking a woman's desire to quickly meet up with you, even if you're not the type she normally goes for. You can choose to simply copy and paste the message as is, or I'll show you how to customize them for even better results. Not regularly available for sale, I'd like to send you a copy of the First Message Black Book totally free of charge. What about the follow-up messages? If you're like most guys, this is when the fish wiggles off the hook. This normally happens because you're unable to keep the momentum going forward. Handle the friction when the conversation starts to fizzle. Or you don't act fast enough when she's clearly eager to sleep with you. Just like the famous rule in physics that says, an object in motion stays in motion. There's a new rule of dating that says, always be moving forward. The minute things stall, slow down, or slide backwards, she slips away. One thing to keep in mind, especially when you're older than a woman, is she expects you to take charge and she needs to be led. That's why I developed a series of forward-moving phrases that lead a conversation towards a meetup. Phrases that demonstrate that you are in control, that let her know you're calling the shots. Phrases that speak the secret language of speed, that show a girl that you can move things forward quickly and aren't another nice guy, too clueless or inexperienced to close the deal. Rather than simply tell you the phrases, I want you to see them in action in the real world, which is why I put together this transcription collection, where you'll read through word-for-word examples of conversations with real girls and see exactly how fast these forward-moving phrases reel her in, prevent her from wiggling off the hook, and keep her attention focused on you the entire time. I'd like to send you this collection of forward-moving phrases in action, also free of charge. I'll show you how to get it in a second, but first, let me get to the second step I recommend you take. Make sure you follow this one powerful rule I'm about to reveal. In this new hookup culture, there's no telling how many different guys a woman is talking to, how many dates she's being asked on, how many of her exes are still flirting with her on Facebook, how often she's swiping right on Tinder, and when, just when, she'll move on to some other guy. The good news is there's only one move you can make that will protect you from friend zone speeches, getting ghosted, or being strung along for months with nothing to show but a phone call full of excuses. Now, I'm not talking about buying her gifts, paying her rent, telling her that you love her, or any of the other nice guy tactics that'll get you taken advantage of and played for a fool. What I'm talking about is a very powerful new rule that naturals have figured out is a big key to keeping women around. Step 2, make sure you have sex with her as fast as you can. I know it's not politically correct to say, and it probably scares some men, and goes against their nature to take it slow or wait 3 to 4 dates to be respectful. But remember, time is not on your side, and in this new hookup culture, the inability to close the deal is a dead giveaway that you're inexperienced, or taking the date way too seriously, and tells her you probably don't have a lot of other options nowadays. The sad reality is, no matter how good a date went, how much of a connection or chemistry you felt, if the date ends with a hug, handshake, or kiss on the cheek, your likelihood of ever seeing her again greatly diminishes. Now, let me make something abundantly clear. I am in no way advising you to force yourself on a woman or do anything against her will. I am a firm believer in no means no. But ask yourself this: how many more girls would have slept with you if you had just made the move? If only you had pulled the trigger. If you knew the right way to go for it. I bet the amount of girls you've unknowingly disappointed over the years will shock you. One of the big secrets that socially savvy naturals have discovered is that women want sex as much as we do. And when you make your move the right way, she's waiting to arch her back in the air, slide out of her panties, and pull you into her. And the new rules dictate sex happens fast, or it doesn't happen at all. Having sex fast has never been easier, but it requires following a specific strategy from your very first conversation with her. From the pre-meetup texts, to choosing the location, to handling the logistics of things like who drives, to the conversation topics you talk about, to the attitude you convey, to when and exactly how you go for the kiss. I've designed an instruction manual to get her back to your bedroom as smoothly and efficiently as possible. Based on the new rules and what's going on right now, I've written up details on the entire strategy, step by step, and everything you need to know. My full report is called The Guide to Closing the Deal on the First Date. My intern Mark, who slept with one girl before coming to work for me, said, "I used to dread dates and had so much anxiety about going for the kiss. Using one of the techniques you taught me, I was actually able to skip the date and get her right to my place. And within 15 minutes of watching a movie, she slid her hand down my thigh and was soon unbuckling my pants. It was almost like it was her idea. I've banged 3 more girls since then following your advice." Here's the truth, and I can't stress this enough. When you turn a girl on, make her horny, get her thinking dirty thoughts about you, it doesn't matter if you're old, broke, or ugly. She's going to act on her primal impulse to strip out of her clothes and climb on top of you. And that brings me to step number 3, how to prevent her from losing interest when you're not around. There's an old proverb on Wall Street: when the ducks quack, feed them. Step 3, feed a woman's short and wandering attention span. Because if she's not thinking about you, she's thinking about someone else. If you want to keep girls interested and attracted to you during the dating apocalypse, one way to do it is to learn the intricacies of an unusual psychological tactic that a lot of guys are currently using to get girls completely obsessed with them, and even win back girls that slipped away. Get this, you don't have to talk to a single girl to begin using this strategy, and it has nothing to do with sending any text messages or emails. And the best part is, you'll know if it's working almost instantly. In a nutshell, this technique forces a girl to miss and obsess over you without you ever saying a word to her. Now, it's also important to note that this tactic probably won't be right for everyone, especially if you're uncomfortable or opposed to using sneaky psychology to make a girl fall in love with you. But the reality is, the tactic is the only way to counteract a girl getting bored with you or pursuing other men. And it works exceptionally well to draw girls closer toward you and to make her decide that she wants to be with you and only you forever. So you can finally feel the security of knowing you have her, like these guys I've taught this secret to over the past year. Last March, for example, Eric of Boise used this secret, and he was able to turn things around with a girl who had already given him the "let's just be friends" speech. He said it worked just as predicted, and soon after following my instructions, he began receiving random messages from her until she finally caved and told him she'd made a massive mistake pushing him away. Randy B. of Austin, Texas also implemented this tactic. A 27-year-old he met off Tinder who kept putting the brakes on when he tried to get serious was soon pressing him to commit and started hinting she wanted a ring. Ben, a 58-year-old from New Brunswick, New Jersey, now has 3 different girls he's juggling, each hoping to be his girlfriend or wife. Another guy, Scotty from Tennessee, reconnected with and is now sleeping with his old high school crush using this technique. I repeat, to begin using this tactic, you don't have to meet up with or say a single word to the girls who you're using it on. This slightly controversial technique I call gaslighting. It's how I've helped dozens of men gain the power and upper hand with girls, even when she's younger or more socially connected than you. This picture is just one example. I'll show you exactly how this technique works and how you can take advantage of it immediately. Starting today, everything you need to know is explained in detail in a video series I created called The Guide to Gaslighting. How to control a girl's attention in the mobile age. As the dating apocalypse continues to unravel, this powerful technique will likely become even more critical for moving a relationship forward. I don't want to say any more about it other than that here in this video. The truth is, the fewer people who know about this psychological tactic, the better. How can you begin taking these simple steps right away? Well, myself and fellow expert Bobby Rio are dating strategists. That means we find out what's working right now in the real world to get dates and attract women. We have an underground newsletter list of 217,463 men, and our main objective is to provide powerful advice and tactics that you won't hear about anywhere else. Since we started this business a decade ago, the tactics we've taught have helped a lot of guys fuck a lot of hot women. Richie from Salt Lake City wrote recently to say, "When I came out of my 11-year marriage and started dating again, I was the typical clueless nice guy who kept getting friend-zoned over and over. And now I'm having so much fun with so many girls that I'm not sure I'll ever settle down again. I can only thank you and Bobby for changing my life so much." Dan from Los Angeles also contacted us to say, "Before I started following your advice, I went 6 years without a single date, and now I'm about to get married to a beautiful Colombian woman 12 years younger than me. I will keep following your advice so I don't slip back into my old ways." Then there was a nice note from Caesar from Long Island. "I was working 16-hour days in Manhattan and had zero time for social life when I found you guys. What I love about your techniques is that it didn't require me to get drunk in expensive bars looking for women, and now I have girls to hang out with on the weekends, putting very little effort into meeting them." Believe me, nothing makes me feel better than receiving notes like these. But I have to tell you right now, I am really worried that many guys are going to get caught totally by surprise when this inevitable dating apocalypse hits them. In the last few years, we've had to adjust a lot of the strategies we recommend to our clients and subscribers, as the rules have abruptly changed, and those who haven't been paying attention are now paying the price. That's why I created this video. That's why I'd like to send you the full details on exactly how I believe this dating apocalypse is going to continue to unfold, and exactly how to counteract it, and even take advantage of this new hookup culture that is making things so easy for the guys who understand how the game is played nowadays. Remember, the old ways of meeting girls no longer work. Your social circle, your job, your local bars, they're all headed down the same desolate path. You can either let things happen to you, or you can take a few simple steps and take charge of your dating and sex life going forward. Please, just give the strategies I've created a look. I believe you'll have all the instructions and tactics you need at your disposal. The best part is, you can take a look at all my techniques, tactics, step-by-step strategy guides, and receive everything I've mentioned here at absolutely no risk or obligation. Simply let me know you'd like to try my new training called Dating Apocalypse Survival Kit, and you'll get immediate access to the Match Multiplier Report, the First Message Black Book, the Forward Moving Phases, Closing the Deal on the First Date, Gaslighting, How to Control a Girl's Attention in the Mobile Age. Also, with the Dating Apocalypse Survival Kit, you'll stay up to date on exactly what new sites and apps you should be on, what type of messages are working best to get girls out, how to decode the secret language girls are speaking. We found some great techniques for dating and sleeping with the 9s and 10s while most guys continue playing by the old rules. And you'll also get 7 brand new strategy guides specifically for mastering every aspect of Tinder, setting up the perfect profile, hacking their algorithm to get more matches, how to avoid age or looks discrimination from girls, the 5-picture sequence that whets her appetite for you, the 6 Tinder types, and the exact strategy for each girl, how to smoothly move things off Tinder and into the real world. And I'll show you some unusual and incredible ways to use Tinder to bring more girls into your life as the apocalypse continues to unfold. You'll also discover secrets like what conversation topics keep attraction alive, how to be persistent without being needy, how to move things forward without scaring her away, how to juggle multiple girls until you find the one, how to straddle the fine line between moving things sexually and coming across creepy, how to use Tinder to sleep with girls you already know. I essentially hand you fill-in-the-blank templates from your first message to your first meetup to ensure you never mess things up with a girl who's already eager to sleep with you. Everything is included inside a secure members area where you can view or download all the reports and videos immediately. And you'll have lifetime access to them as they'll continue to be updated with new ideas, what's working now, and what I expect to happen in the months to come. I know this new dating scene can be very intimidating, and it can even feel overwhelming and confusing. That's why I distilled it all down to a simple roadmap you can follow to meet more girls and get them choosing you. My secrets for meeting up with hot women, even if you're older, or you think you're not good looking or rich enough for those types of girls. And when you follow my first date guide, you'll know exactly what to do and say to get even the 9s and 10s into bed. And if you already have your eye on a girl who slipped away, use this and she'll think about what a mistake she made. So even if you feel hopeless, or you've tried dating apps before and didn't have luck with them, trust me, I've been there. It's so easy to make mistakes when you don't have a game plan, when you're winging it with no clue what you're doing. But when you have these strategy guides, everything will be different. You'll be able to handpick the women you want and follow step-by-step instructions for keeping her attracted to you and getting her into bed so you can make her your girlfriend or just have fun, casual sex with her until the right girl comes along. And those feelings of waking up in bed with a fun, beautiful woman, eager and excited to please you, of not worrying if you'll grow old alone or when the next time you'll have sex will be, the satisfaction of looking at your phone and seeing texts from multiple girls all wanting to come over to your place, all anxious to be your girlfriend. So how much does my work cost? The $5,000 which I charge for my private coaching? The $2,000 that my inner circle has said I should demand? But I wanted any guy to be able to afford the Dating Apocalypse Survival Kit. So I decided to price it at $147. The 5 free reports and videos alone have been sold to my subscribers this year for more than that. And that doesn't include the entire Dating Apocalypse Survival Kit that you'll also have access to, which is even more valuable and contains even more step-by-step instructions and examples of the new rules in action. But today, you won't even pay that much. Right now, you can have access to my entire survival kit and all 5 reports and videos for less than 1/3 the normal rate. You'll pay a one-time payment of just $49.50 for lifetime access. So go ahead, click the order button at the bottom of this page right now, and you'll get 2 full months to decide whether you want to pay for this. You'll have the next 2 months to take a look at the manuals, transcriptions, reports, and videos I've just described, plus the countless other videos and instruction guides I didn't have time to tell you about. So if you don't get more dates, more sex, and don't think that this is the best dating advice you've ever received, hell, even if you don't like the way my voice sounds in the video, then I insist that you write me and request a refund. On the next page, you can register for the program using a secure checkout page. The only thing that will show on your credit card is ClickBank, which is the oldest, most trusted payment processor online. You'll see the little badge on the side. Once you register, you'll immediately be taken to a private members area. In fact, to sweeten the deal just a bit more, I want to include a brand new guide I just completed called The Complete Guide to Sexting. And I decided to create this after realizing how little most guys understood about the art of arousing a woman with words. You see, the right words, not pictures of your dick, is what turns her on and makes her want to have sex with you. I'll show you exactly which words turn her on and how to slip them into every text you send. This new report alone will be sold shortly to my current subscribers for $47. You'll get access to this free when you register now for the Dating Apocalypse Survival Kit. To get started, simply click on the link below, which will take you to a secure order form. Your order will be processed immediately, and you'll have access to all of my work in a matter of minutes. Hey, you're still here? Still making your decision? No worries. I understand you might still have some questions. A lot of guys have questions. After my last video, I would get hundreds of emails a day from guys. So this time, I decided to answer some of the most common questions I get right in the video. The first question that we're getting over and over is, how fast do I get access to the Dating Apocalypse? Well, instantly. The instant you complete your order, you get private access to everything I mentioned in the video. You're going to get immediate access to the private members area, and everything is digitally downloadable. That means even if it's 2 a.m. right now. Once you purchase, you'll be taken immediately to a download area where you'll be able to watch all of the programs. If you want to download the material and put it on your iPad, you can do that. It's your choice. You can watch them straight from our site, or you can download them to your own iPhone, computer, whatever you want. You're going to get 300 pages of instruction manual ebooks and about 10 hours of video tutorials teaching you all the ins and outs, everything you need to know about this new hookup culture, dating apps, and keep women attracted to you nowadays. No waiting for a package in a mail, No worrying about who might see it. And if you're worried about what shows up on your credit card, the only thing you'll see is ClickBank, a trusted online payment processor. So in about 1 to 2 minutes maximum, from this moment right now, all your questions about the new rules of dating will be answered, and you'll have a step-by-step game plan. Now, I'll be honest. As you go through the program, you'll definitely have some moments of regret when you see how easy some of the tactics are and how you could have quickly turned things around with a woman if you had just learned those new rules sooner. The good news is that in most cases, it's not too late, especially if you're comfortable implementing some of the tactics we teach in the Guide to Gaslighting videos. More good news. Going forward, you won't be making those same mistakes anymore. Think how easy it'll be when you can flip through the manual and find the perfect message, the right way to respond, or go into a date with a step-by-step plan for closing the deal that night. No more ending the nights with an awkward hug. No more spinning your wheels with the woman, unable to get her to meet up, unable to finally close the deal. This program consumed the past 3 years of my life. I came out of a marriage in a bad place. I had a 2-year-old daughter that I had 4 days a week, and I wondered how I'd ever meet a woman again. And then I started identifying all these easy ways to get women to my place. I mentioned my girlfriend Adriana, who's the weather girl for the Telemundo channel. Well, the night I met her, I was watching Beauty and the Beast with my daughter. I saw her profile on Tinder, thought she was beautiful, sent her a message. The exact message is included in my first message black book, and she's my girlfriend now. So much easier than when I used to go to expensive nightclubs, get drunk, get no sleep, wake up with a hangover. How easy it is why so many guys love it, especially guys who work a lot or guys who hate the bar scene. Obviously, I'm very passionate about it, and it's already completely transformed the lives of so many of our subscribers and myself, obviously. And you're going to get access to it right away, just as fast as you can enter your information on the private, secure checkout page. I don't want you to have to wait for this at all. The next question is, will this work for me even if I'm fat, old, poor, bald, or inexperienced with women? As I mentioned in the video, older guys are having some of the best luck using these tactics. Here's why. Because I show you how to control a woman's perception of you. Remember when I mentioned the number one rule that a woman must think other women want you? Take an older guy, for instance. Is he still single because he's having so much fun being single that he's reluctant to settle down? Or is he single because other women don't want him? The older guy who gives off the former vibe will get laid left and right on Tinder, and girls will look at it like a challenge to get you to settle down. I have clients over 50 that came to me looking for a wife, but have had so much fun having sex with women in their 20s, they no longer want to settle down, which only makes women want them more. What if you're overweight, or you think you're uniquely ugly? A lot of guys have this idea in their head that they're uniquely bad with women or that they have some unique disadvantage that makes it impossible for them to attract the type of girls they really want. Trust me, I've been coaching men for over 10 years now. I've taught guys who were severely overweight, guys on the autism spectrum, guys under 5 feet tall. And in every single case, the guy was able to meet a woman, attract her, and sleep with her. I'm not promising you will get the exact woman you have your eye on right now, though many will. I'm saying you will find a woman you're attracted to and be able to turn her into your girlfriend or wife. I mentioned my intern Mark earlier in the video. When he started working with me, he was close to 30 years old and felt he was hopeless. He had sex with one woman his entire life, and although he didn't say it, I suspect he paid her. Well, in the last 4 months, he's had sex with 5 different girls, and one of the girls he likes so much that he's been hanging out with her almost every night. As you'll see when you get to the members area and you dive into the material, you're not as unique as you think. I can almost guarantee you that a man in the situation very, very similar to yours has gone through the system and have seen massive results, attracting the type of woman that he wants, women that he thought were completely out of his league. Now, I will remind you, the reason this material works so well right now is that most other men are still playing by the old rules, which means there's a window of opportunity for guys like you. But that window will close. which is why it's important to start implementing this material as soon as possible. Back to the original question. So the answer to the question is none of these things matter. Looks, money, age, it's all in your head. Sure, women have physical preferences, but when they start chasing a guy, when a guy makes them horny, none of that matters. In fact, a lot of what we added to the system is specifically for guys who are below average looking. And we show you simple tweaks to add a few points to your attractiveness level. It's very easy to take a guy who's a 4 or 5 looks-wise and turn him into a 7. And here's the truth. All you need to be is average looking. And becoming average looking isn't hard. And I'll show you exactly how. In fact, one of the guides is focused entirely on those little tweaks. Here's another hint. When a girl thinks other women want you, you automatically become more physically attractive to her. So when you follow the advice, especially the gaslighting techniques, women will naturally start viewing you as an attractive guy. You got to realize 90% of the game with women is mental. And when you're using the material word for word, like I give it to you, she's already building you up in her mind. She's already hungry to meet up with you. So when you do, you just follow my step-by-step plan for sleeping with her, and you really can't blow it. One of the guys I taught this to told me he was incapable of closing the deal. He said no matter how close he got, he'd just blow it. He said that because for whatever reason, as good as a date went, he could never have sex. Well, that all changed when he followed the steps in my guide. I get guys sending in testimonials every day, and these guys are average-looking guys at best. And they're forwarding me screenshots of the women they're meeting, women who make me jealous. What if I'm shy or nervous around girls? Well, it doesn't really matter. The truth is, I'm a natural introvert. I'm very shy around everybody in general. The great things about the different instruction manuals you're getting is that if you're the type of guy whose mind draws blanks when you're talking to a woman or texting with her, you can just use the material we provide word for word. The next common question is, what if I want a girl I already know and don't want to have to meet a new one? That's easy. Use the gaslighting material. The gaslighting material was specifically designed for that sort of situation. In fact, the majority of guys who use the gaslighting use it to get out of the friend zone with a girl, which it is awesome for, because she thinks it was her idea. You're not saying anything different to her. You're just following the method given in the videos, and over the course of a couple weeks, you'll notice she starts contacting you more. She's wearing sexier outfits around you, playing with her hair more, nervous around you, and she'll stand closer to you. You'll catch her looking at you with the flirty eyes. She will have no clue what's going on, but I see it work over and over again. She's going to start to think, wow, I don't know what this is, but he seems different to me now. I have these new feelings for him that I just can't explain. Just as importantly, though, is when you follow the advice, you will avoid the friend zone in the first place. The friend zone usually occurs because when you first meet a woman, you make a few mistakes. And those few mistakes early on relegate you to friend zone prison. You won't be making those mistakes anymore. Now, a great thing about this is its kind of snowball effect, because you'll be meeting so many new women that the women already in your life will first become curious, then jealous, and eventually they'll decide they want you too. It's just the way it works, and the reasons naturals do it so well, because women go for guys they see other women want. The next question is from guys who say, I don't want to meet a woman online or on apps, I just want to meet a woman in the real world. Here's a cold hard fact. There is no longer a real world. A lot of guys, especially older guys who hate technology, say, I'd rather just meet a woman in the real world. Sure, if you happen to work with an attractive woman or randomly bump into one at Whole Foods and can start a conversation without creeping her out, that's cool. You might even get her number in the real world. But that's not where the relationship takes place, right? Pretty much all your conversations with her will be through text. You can't avoid it unless you plan on dating 80-year-olds. If she's under 60, you can bet she's on Facebook, Instagram, and she's probably got her profile up on a couple of dating sites. Every time she logs in, if you're not there, some other guy is, and you can bet your ass he's trying to get in her pants. And if she pulls out her phone and keeps seeing lame, boring texts from you, or you're the friendless guy, liking all her posts like some super annoying fan, she's going to quickly lose interest, and pretty soon, no matter how much she liked you in the real world, you'll start hearing excuses like how, I like you, but I just don't have time for anything serious. Right now, no matter where you plan on meeting women, you must know how to keep the attraction alive over text and social media, or things will fizzle out. And here's something that is very important to understand. It only matters how it comes across, not what the truth is. What do I mean by that? Even if women find you attractive in person, and you have lots of pretty girlfriends in the past, if you can't convey that online or over messages, she'll still lump you into the loser category. All right. We have guys saying that they're ready to settle down and get married, and that they're afraid that Tinder is just for hooking up. Well, I already told you I met my current girlfriend on there. I don't know yet if I'm going to marry her, but she's definitely the type of girl I would marry. Listen, yes, a lot of my students, once they learn this, use it to have sex with a lot of girls. Like my intern Mark. It's very addicting to sleep with a handful of new younger women, especially if you've been dry for a while. So yes, lots of guys have as much sex as possible when learning this, and I don't really blame them for it. Nothing beats that feeling when a new girl is in bed with you, and that movement where she arches her back in the air so she can slide her panties off and you know it's on. I know after my divorce, that is exactly what the doctor ordered for me. And when you see how easy it is to get horny women over to your place, like I said, it can get addicting. That being said, even Mark has now settled down with a cool, fun girl he likes to hang out with, going on trips. In fact, they just booked a scuba trip to Cabo together. What this program provides you is options and choices. You'll have options, so when you do find the one you want to marry, you'll know it's because she really is the one and not because she's the only one you can get. And man, the feeling you get when you meet that woman you connect with, have instant sexual chemistry, loads in common, and you can just lie in bed and talk for hours. She's hot, your friends are jealous, and you're on cloud nine. Nothing is better than that feeling. And I hope you'll look back on today and give me a virtual high five. We also have lots of guys writing in and asking, how is this different from all the other dating advice I've seen out there? To be honest, there's nothing else out there anywhere like this. Most programs focus either basic advice like acting more confident or dressing better, which we all know how well that works. Or the courses focus on good tactics but fail to take into account that the game has changed. For years, I was known as the cold approach guy because my specialty was going out to nightclubs and kissing a woman within a few minutes of talking to her. I built my reputation on that and being able to teach guys how to do it too. But a few years ago, I realized that doesn't quite work as well as it used to. Women are staring at their phones at bars nowadays. They already have some guy on Tinder waiting at home for them, so approaching women in bars just isn't a good use of your time anymore. So I stopped teaching it. But most other courses still focus on that. They teach things that worked 10 years ago, but don't work anymore. Sure, you can go out and meet a woman at a bar or wherever, but the reality is you have to approach 100 women to find one willing to sleep with you. I don't like those odds. Not when I can sit at home watching TV and lining up dates with a few clicks. I've taught a lot of guys, and once I showed guys the secrets you'll discover in the members area, not one guy has ever gone back to the old way. This way is just too easy when you do it right. When you do it right. I stress that because a lot of guys will say Tinder doesn't work. And as it always happens, I ask them if I can take a look at their profile and read through the messages they've been sending. And every single time, within a few seconds, I can identify huge mistakes that they are unknowingly making. And once I show them how to fix those mistakes, it's a whole new ballgame. The next time I run into them, they're pulling out their phone and flashing me half-naked photos of the new girls they're sleeping with. The next question is, can I trust your guarantee? The answer is yes, absolutely, no question. You see, this program is actually distributed by ClickBank, and they handle all the customer support needs, and they're actually famous for their first-class customer support. They're based in the United States of America, and every one of the customer support reps are friendly and helpful and trained to deliver a totally hassle-free experience for you if you want your money back. They'll quickly process your refund if you don't like the program for any reason whatsoever. You just download the program, try it for up to 60 days, and trust me, it will not take you 60 days to see how powerful it is. But you can still take as much time as you need to try out the material. And if you're not happy, just send us an email or call our toll-free number that you'll get with the program, and you'll get your money back with 0 questions asked. Honestly, the only person who's taking a risk when you order isn't you, it's me. Look, I hope you're not this type of guy, but if you wanted to, you can just buy the program and get your money back even after getting the benefit of the material. Now, I highly doubt that you're going to do that after you see how much your life changes after you start putting the material to use and meeting and sleeping with the type of women you really want. In fact, I have no worries about you stealing from me because you're going to send me success stories about the results that they have and send me pictures of the girls that you're now dating and seeing, just like the guys who have gone through this material already. Nothing makes me happier than getting an email from a guy who was struggling, felt hopeless, and then implementing just one piece of advice from the Dating Apocalypse program, and now he's sleeping with some woman he thought was out of his league. What type of guy should not purchase the Dating Apocalypse? If you plan to use this material to take advantage, mistreat, or abuse women, get the fuck out of here right now. Women can be confusing, frustrating creatures, but I love and respect them. And if you don't, do not apply for this program. Also, you have to be able to handle the responsibility. When it's easy to line up dates to get girls over for sex, you have to realize that she has feelings too. That just because you can sleep with her doesn't always mean you should. Just because she's texting you at 2 a.m. doesn't mean you have to invite her over if you know she wants a boyfriend and that's not what you're looking for. The next question is, how quickly will I see results? Well, that's the beauty of the system. If you set your profile up just like I walk you through, use the pictures I recommend, and send the messages I recommend, then you'll be talking to new girls by tomorrow morning. If there's a woman in your life you're trying to win back, then you'll want to skip right to the digital gaslighting videos and start implementing some of those techniques, and you'll be surprised how quickly she's messaging you to meet up. Are there any hidden extra charges or memberships? The answer is no. There's definitely not. The Dating Apocalypse is a one-time payment. That's it. And then you have lifetime access to the material. Remember, it's covered by our 60-day, no questions asked, money-back guarantee, which means you have 60 full days to go through the program, try it out, and if for any reason you don't like. Next question. Is my credit card information safe with you? And what's going to show up on my bill? Well, like I mentioned before, it's not me personally charging your credit card. It's ClickBank, and that's what's going to show up on your bill. Look, ClickBank is one of the most famous self-developed publishers in the world. They've been around since 1998, which is almost 20 years. They're not going to risk ruining their hard-earned reputation by pissing off their customers or ripping them off. They use the same payment processing software as companies like Amazon.com, and they use the same security software as companies like Facebook and Google. So your private information is as safe as humanly possible. And in fact, they actually go one step further, and they use 256-bit secure encryption, which means there's no way that your private information could be stolen by hackers or any other third party out there. Buying this system is actually much safer than going through a fast food restaurant or grocery store and using your credit card, because there's no employee who's handling your credit card information. All you have to do is click the button, enter your information, and you're going to have the best customer experience of your life. I guarantee it. So those are the most common questions. And if you still have any more questions, then it's time to just click that button below and give it a try. Because remember, it's me taking 100% of the risks here. Your satisfaction is totally guaranteed. If you decide this isn't right for you, hey, I'm not holding it against you. Just shoot us an email or call our toll-free number that you'll find in the program, and we'll take care of you in 1 to 2 business days, no problem. I'm here to help and empower men like you, and that really is the most important thing for me. If you don't feel like I've significantly improved your life, if you don't feel like I've made your dating life so much easier, I simply don't want your money. I don't deserve it in that case. The best part of the guarantee is there are no strings attached whatsoever. If you don't like the program, you don't owe me an explanation. The program just wasn't for you, and that's okay. It happens. I have to tell you though, man, I'm really, really confident that the dating apocalypse will change your life. It completely changed mine. Whatever your dating and relationship goals are, wherever you're at right now, I want to be the one who helps you meet that. That's why I've taken 100% of the risks, to make absolutely sure that you give this a try. So, give it a try. And then, even if you don't like my teaching style, even if you get annoyed by the sound of my voice or the font in the instructional manual, just shoot me an email or call our toll-free hotline and just get your money back. It's as simple as that. All right, man, if you haven't claimed your spot yet, I'm going to take a guess and say that you're on the fence about your decision, and that's totally fine. I get it. Click the Add to Cart button and get started. I know this program